I think the definition of greatness is to inspire the people next to you. It's not something that lives and dies with one person. It's how can you inspire a person to then in turn inspire another person that then inspires another person. And that's how you create something that I think lasts forever. And I think that's our challenge as people, is to figure out how our story can impact others and motivate them in a way to create their own greatness.
Welcome to the Welcome to the 3-on-3 podcast. That's right, you're tuned in to the number one basketball podcast in the universe. Even when we took a break, we're still the number one basketball podcast. Thank you for joining us. I'm here with my compadres, my amigos, my guys, my brethren. I got Ev, Lou, Christian in the background, making sure that we continue to be that number one basketball podcast. We have a great show in store for you today. We're going to be talking about the biggest moves that happened in the summer. Also, there's been a lot of extensions this summer as well. A lot of big money being thrown around in the NBA. So we'll dive into that. And last but not least, some of these teams are making us scratch our head. Like, what are they doing? What is happening? But let's start off with the first one, man. Some big moves happened, and most notably, you got KD, Kevin Durant, Slim Reaper, Durantula, and every other name you can think of going to Houston, man. Houston. He's going to Houston. You also have Cam Johnson, who's going to the Nuggets. So they got rid of Michael Porter Jr. And this one was a shocker to me. Miles Turner from the Indiana Pacers, Miles Turner, going to the Milwaukee Bucks, going to the Ops. He pulled a KD. It's wild. I'll start with you, Lou. Out of those three, or maybe there's one that I missed, which one was the biggest move that happened in the offseason for you?
Anytime you see somebody who's a championship contender, especially a major piece in a championship contender, going to another team that's previously won a championship, and is in conversation, always in conversation about championship caliber, that has to be the biggest. Miles Turner going over after spending a decade with the team that he got drafted by, to go over to Milwaukee, especially after they're down their star guy, No Halley. So now,
No Halley.
you take another No Halley, man. Now you take a major piece to what gave you the success, because he's somebody who had to perform. Obviously, there were other players there as well that performed that brought them to the success they had. But going to Milwaukee, massive. That is absolutely massive. I think that as Milwaukee looks to find a way to keep Giannis, as they try to find a way to rebuild their roster, now that they're also losing guys such as Dame making his way back home.
Yes.
We talked about ad nauseum a replacement for Middleton in terms of somebody defensively and also who can get you some points. On paper, it looks like you have an upgraded version of what Bobby Portis is, and what you can get out of young Miles. But they're similar in age, but I do think you have a slight upgrade from Bobby Portis and bringing in Miles Turner, and also you up your defense significantly with it as well. So to me, on paper, eye test, Miles Turner going over to the Bucks is the biggest thing. I know everybody want to say KD going to Houston, but we also talked about this towards the end of last season of the pod. This is not the Durantula of old. This is not the Durantula of the Seattle Supersonics. This is not the Slim Reaper of the Oklahoma City Thunder. All right, so just letting you know, this is not the same guy. Now, don't get me wrong. You see, you got a guy that's gonna come give you that bucket. I know you guys say the analogy when I gave Melo, but he will play a similar role in terms of he's not going to be the primary guy. And I expect for them to look to make a couple moves. If Jabari Smith makes it into the 2025-2026 roster, I will be highly surprised. But I expect that Houston will continue to make some more moves to supplement. Hey, KD going over there is great. We saw it. We called it. But does it move the needle? Does it make them a championship contending team? Not at all. But the Bucks, with this move, we see what significantly what that could do for the Milwaukee franchise.
Okay, that's solid. Um, I will say this: it is the most shocking for me. That move, man. Miles does bring a lot, but I still think there's some question marks there, man. As in terms of what else Milwaukee can cobble together to make a run. But to another point, the East is legit wide open, really. So, how much do you
Yeah,
kind of
it
really
is.
need? I mean, if
And that's,
yeah,
I mean, he said why he went. He went because he felt like Milwaukee is a contender. He wants to continue to be on a contender. Clearly, he's lost faith in the fact that Halliburton is down. And can this team get back to where they were? Albeit they did come off as a Cinderella story. Were they supposed to beat New York? Were they supposed to beat the Knicks? Hey, some may argue no.
yeah,
But
man,
they got,
Knicks had
they
one
got as
job,
far as
man.
they did.
Yeah, Knicks
But
had one
outside of
job.
that, hey, simply, I Miles Turner sees them as a contender. I think this also is a great way to state the case for Milwaukee to say, hey, Giannis, we're doing what we said we would to make sure that you can continue to feel like you can win here in Milwaukee.
Okay. What about you, Ev? What's the move that you feel is the biggest one this offseason?
Well, let me
Don't
start
say
off by
extending Brunson.
saying, oh no, we'll stick to the trades that you pointed out, and let me just start off by saying, listen, it's preseason. The takes are hot. The takes are fresh. This is where you try out things. You try out some new offenses, try out some new takes. See what sticks. See what lands. So with that, I will say first off, let me walk through the ones that you mentioned. Miles Turner take. Agree. Shocking. But Miles Turner's been on the trading block for what, 4 years? 5 years? So it may be shocking that Indiana traded him now, that or that he went elsewhere now, let me say, because he signed with Milwaukee
Hmm.
after the season they had. But like you said, with no Halliburton next year, what was he sticking around for if he's trying to contend? KD, you called it out perfectly. This isn't the KD of 4 years ago, 5 years ago. We've watched 4 straight years of KD where since his foot hit that line in that series against the Bucks, his teams have underachieved, not overachieved.
It's
So,
big toe.
I mean, you're
What he said,
right.
man,
Big toe.
nothing was the same.
Nothing was the same. So I would argue that out of the transactions that you highlighted, I'd actually go with the Cam Johnson pick as the one that is biggest from the standpoint of actually moving the needle for a legitimate contender in the league this year. Remember, Denver is the team that took OKC to 7 games before Indiana did. Denver is also the team that's returning a reigning MVP candidate in the prime of his career. Denver subtracted Michael Porter Jr., who, injured or not, was a negative in the playoffs, and brings in a player who is going to give you 90% of Michael Porter more often than Michael Porter gave you 90% of Michael Porter Jr.
He's going to be more Michael Porter than Michael Porter Jr. Got it.
He is. So when I look at the move that was made, Denver's big issue last year was outside the Joker, they just didn't get consistency from anybody, right? Now you have a legit, and with them bringing in Valanciunas as well to back up Michael Porter.
I like
The
that.
backup Joker. With them bringing in a Cam Johnson, now they're more to a legitimate rotation. Bringing in Bruce Brown back, right? Now you've got a legitimate rotation. You go 8 deep. This is a team now that I think can stand and look at themselves and say, as constructed, without making any other moves, can stand toe to toe with anybody in the West, more so than I'd say Houston, more so than Milwaukee in the East. So if you ask me, oddly enough, I think it's the Cam Johnson trade.
I have a question for you though.
Go for it.
Who do you think got a better upgrade, Milwaukee or Denver? Cam Johnson, Michael Porter to Cam Johnson, Miles from say Bobby Porter because in essence plays that position depending what type of rotation you're doing, or Brook Lopez or et cetera, et cetera. Who got the better upgrade?
I
Shout out
would
to Bruce
say,
Bowen, seeing the error of his ways and coming back home.
right. I would say Denver just from the standpoint of again, I think Miles Turner, his pros outweighed his cons enough over a series of 6 weeks in the playoffs this year. But again, I reiterate, Indiana's been somewhat trying to trade Miles Turner for 5 years. I'll be the first one. You know, we can't go 10 minutes without bringing up the Lakers. Miles Turner's been rumored to the Lakers since 2022,
But
right?
that's not fair
So,
though. I feel like context matters.
okay.
Indiana has been trash for these past couple years as well too. So in the context of if they're trying to rebuild, get him out of here because we're trying to rebuild and we're not going to build around him. I don't think that necessarily says anything about him. Everybody knows he's not a franchise player, right? And that's not what they're getting. So I think just because he had been on the trading block, I don't think that diminishes his skill or value per se. I just think that says more about
Absolutely.
Indiana's positioning those past few years, because don't forget, like,
Mhm.
Hallie hasn't always been there, right? They got him from
Exactly.
Sacramento. And then even when they
Exactly.
got him, he had to show them. You get what I'm saying? Like, hey, I can actually do this. So I don't know, man. I would say I wouldn't down Miles like that much. I think he's still a top center in the East. Um, and I think he's still somebody that can make a huge difference. Yes, he's not going to be your franchise player, but I can't doubt him just because he's been on the trading block. I mean, Jaylen Brown's been rumored for how long to be traded. Doesn't make him less of a dynamic player. You know what I mean? So I think the context does
Points were
matter.
made.
I
So
think the context
I'll
does
tell you
matter
this. I don't disagree with that, right? What I will say though is when I look at which transaction made a team most complete, right? I look at Houston, and yeah, they have Şengün, yeah, they have Amen Thompson, and you expect him to take another leap, but you kind of got to still see it, right? The edges to smooth out offensively. They have a lot of players. Which players will ultimately pop, so to speak, right? Will Reed Shepard be in that 2 spot, or who will be in that 2 spot, right? So there's still figuring out you got to do with Houston. When you look at Milwaukee, again, this move was made because of Dame's Achilles, right? So now you shift out Dame, you move in Miles, you bring in a lot of supplemental pieces. Is Giannis, Miles, and a bunch of supplemental pieces enough to do real damage in the East? Maybe. We'll see. I think the Denver move, although maybe not the best player of the three, is the best fit and the best puzzle piece of the three. And that's what I see here in August. We'll see how
No,
the season goes.
I will agree with that. I think as presently constructed, Denver does have the best roster, even though I still feel
Yeah.
like Jamal Murray is still a question mark. Just because he's been inconsistent. He was inconsistent last year. But yet and still though, Denver was competitive. And I feel like they really I feel like OKC squeaked by them. That's how I feel. Like that's how competitive I
I
feel
must
like
say
they were.
their playoff performance made me
Yeah.
rejuvenated my faith in
Okay.
Denver.
It made you a little a slight little believer in in Denver again. So got you. Okay. Fair,
What they
fair.
say, got one more in me.
Yeah, I got one more. That's how I feel about the Clippers. I really do. Their playoff performance was like, you know what?
Okay, all
I
right,
might
Hans,
get
come
back
on,
on this.
Come
All
on,
right, all right. Anywho, all right.
come
I
on.
guess
Don't make
once we
me
move
agree
on.
with the
So
pod mamba.
All right. Moving on. Moving on to the next segment, guys. Moving on to the next segments. Let's talk about these extensions. Man, there's a lot of money being thrown around, man. Jeez, if I was just like 5, 6 inches taller, maybe, Lord, I don't know. But anyway, a lot of money being thrown around here, man. A lot of money. So we have the latest, De'Aaron Fox, the Spurs, man. 4 years, 229 mil. Ooh, just being thrown around. And then you have the Lakers, who, of course, extended Luca 3 years, 165 mil. We also have Bridges, Mikel from the Knicks F's team, 4 years, 100. All right, we got it. 4 years, $150 million. Whew. It's a lot of money being thrown around, man. And what are you guys, right? Like, Jesus. What are you guys thinking out of those extensions? Which ones do you think stuck out the most to you? And I'll start with you on this one, Ev. Which extension, listed or not listed, right? Because there are some other extensions that I didn't list out there. You have Booker, you have Banchero as well, too. He got an extension in his rookie deal. So which ones or which one stuck out to you the most?
Well, I mean, the story starts with Luca. Let's be honest. I mean, that's the one
I'm
where
disappointed in you, Evan. But go ahead.
I feel you. But when the best player on the market from an extension standpoint decides to, put pen to ink and extend where he's at, he's the biggest one. The Luca story is so fascinating, even from the standpoint of we know he was out of shape. We have this whole media tour now, where he goes away for 2 months. He gets in shape. He wants everybody to know about it on the way back. He does the tour from New York to Chicago to LA to make the extension signature on the day that he's able to. You've known me for a long time. I'm a respectable person. I'm an honorable person, but I'm also a petty person. And I respect petty when I see it. The amount of pettiness that will drive you across the globe to disappear and intermittent fast and eat protein and salads all right, for 60 days when nothing over here was getting you to do that, and then to come back and show everybody what you've done. I'm not a Laker fan, but I can't name 5 things I'm more excited to see next season than the Luka Doncic revenge tour.
Petty
on the
Luca
league.
tour. Okay.
Petty Luka. So for me, it's a Lakers story, but the Luka angle of it is bigger than the Lakers, right? He could be on any team. He just happens to be on the Lakers, and I would want to see what he's about to do. So for him to sign the extension, to lock up with, listen, Lakers, legacy franchise, to lock up with them for at least 2 more years, 2 plus the extension, and to showcase what I think would be the best version of himself in a long time. Excited to see. Now the roster still has holes. The roster still has a $50 million question mark. Who's we mixing petty with passive aggressiveness. So that's gonna make for must see TV. So I mean, with all the ingredients mixed up there, it's got to be Luka.
Okay. Fair. He does have the star power. Pun freaking intended with LA. What about you, Lou? Which one of these extensions is
Look,
sticking out
man.
to you?
Okay, I get. Look, I've seen folks in fat suits and lose weight and do all that cute stuff before. We've seen this quote unquote villain story begin. Do I expect Luca to do anything more than what's performative? I think if anything, he's learning from the greatest showman in the NBA, who is his current teammate. what it will actually materialize to, but it's a cool story. It's a true Laker Hollywood story. It's something that's going to put that extension that they just signed for him. This is what's going to fill those seats. And they're going to get their money back 2, 3, and 5 times over. No, I mean, realistically, for me, I think the most notable one is the De'Aaron Fox. I think what the Spurs franchise is looking at, can we replicate having another Tony and Tim? What pieces are we building for us? We may not be great now. Cool. But we have at least youth on our side. We have time on our side, and we're signing, and we're making sure that we keep pieces between what they've done with these extensions, what they've been doing in terms of drafting, being able to get some guys that they can build for the future, and knowing that the West is going to be probably the more dominant conference for at least the next 5 years. How do they put themselves in a position that as some of these teams start to sunset, that they can compete with the OKCs, who's a young team, and so on. Excuse me. So I think the De'Aaron Fox one is, as the Spurs organization is building their foundation for what they come from, the pedigree that they come from, to be able to be in a position to be able to win in the long term. We'll see what the Lakers do. I based on their current roster, their current construction, what happens, like Emma said, with the greatest showman in basketball, what that means for the AR. Everybody said AR was that guy. We've seen him be exposed and not really be that guy. What do the Lakers really expect their next season going to look like? Do they expect themselves to be, again, to have another season like they did before, be a top 4 performing team? Or, as now the other teams have also started to shake out and actually kind of set their footing, can they be competitive long term? I think the Spurs are thinking long term, and they're being more smart than anybody else right now in terms of the Western Conference with their extensions.
So I will say this. I think the Spurs one is interesting for me because I do think they're trying to keep up with the youth of OKC. OKC extended Jalen Williams and Chet. So, gave them gave them max rookie deals. So they're out here throwing, 5 years, 250 mil at Chet. J Will has 200, 5 year, 287. So they're locked in, right? They're locked in with the youth. The only concern I have with OKC locking in with De'Aaron Fox is they have a lot of guards. So I'm curious to see what that rotation is going to look like. How's that going to look on the court, right? Who's going to take the back seat? And it's not that they have a lot of guards, they have a lot of young guards, right? So young guards
But
need
it's
time
good,
to
though.
develop.
Cheap.
So
And cheap.
no, I agree. But
And
it's also their task now is how do we properly develop, right, these guards and maximize their potential in our rotation? Given that they play the same position, they're dynamic, they need the balls in their hands. You get what I'm saying? Like they have the same game, right? They need the ball in their hand, they need that time. That's 3 of them. So I think that is gonna be their struggle. But I mean, excess is a problem to have, right? Like you'd rather have a trouble with having more than having none.
you build your
So
trade stock. That's what I'm saying.
right,
I think they're building their trade stock as they nowadays like, okay, here are going to be our 2 cornerstone pieces between Wemby and Fox. How maybe be able to move these other pieces to plug in the holes that we need to plug in. At least that's how I'm thinking about it. If I outside looking in at the Spurs organization, so they're racking up. This is a different strategy than OKC, right? They have a bunch of picks. Spurs have a bunch of players. They're like, hey, you don't have to have faith in picks. Here's actually somebody that we're saying can be developed that you might need. Let's
right.
talk.
An investment for the future. I see that logic. Go ahead, Ev.
I'm nervous about San Antonio this year. So I look
Sorry,
at
Ev,
them.
let me step in real quick.
Absolutely.
If you're the Spurs, what's the point of keeping all these guards and picks when you can go all in by trading someone like Castle and all those picks for someone like, I don't know, Giannis Antetokounmpo?
So you're kind of going the direction that I was going, right? And why I'm kind of nervous about the Spurs. I get, all right, you have Wemby, you got generational talent. But when you have De'Aaron Fox, when you have Stephen Castle, when you have Dylan Harper, and then the players besides them are still unproven, we still don't quite know what Devin Vassal's going to be. We still don't quite know, is Keldon Johnson a solid rotation player on a good team? We still don't know if Jeremy Sohan, one arm free throw shooting is a good forward on a good team, right? There's still just so many question marks with this lineup to me. And so I think folks are penciling them in because, yes, they have Wemby. Yes, theoretically they have Fox. They have Fox, but theoretically that's just supposed to work. But when you mix all that in with a new coach as well, right? Granted, gets his off season to actually put his imprint on the team, but we're still making a major shift from Pop to a new coach. And then I just look at the West and I'm like, okay, well, who are they jumping? Who are they definitively jumping? So I like the Spurs, but I'm fascinated to see if these pieces actually translate into enough wins for them to jump pecking orders this year, or will they end up having to do and pivot exactly what Paul Mamba is pointing out is, hey, we got to package some of these into some players that is a neater fit around Wemby that are ready to win now. Because when you got a player like that, you should be ready to win now.
See,
So
that's what I was saying earlier about. But I don't think they're really looking to win now. I think they're thinking at least 2 years from now.
but they're not. But Ev,
Because
they're not jumping
they're not winning now.
Memphis. They're not jumping.
Ooh.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like I don't.
I don't
I
know if they
see.
jump Memphis.
You don't think they jump Memphis as presently constructed?
You think
Meaning, I don't think
they jump
Memphis is going to be
Sacramento?
rated as high as they were. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't see them as a high seed. I see them as a low play-in seed, right? Like, I see
Mm.
them getting in, right? Phoenix, we can forget about it, right? Like, they didn't make it last year. I don't think they're doing anything. Like I'm sorry, right? Sacramento, we
Yeah.
can forget.
Hold on. Say that again.
Like
Bums. Phoenix bums.
I'm just saying, like, you don't think that presently constructed, they have enough youth to make an 8 seed,
Beat
7,
Golden
8
State.
seed?
Think they beat Golden State currently as they currently constructed?
That's a good question. That's a good question. I don't know what's going on with Golden State, right? Kuminga's giving them a hard time. Did they get better, really? Like, I don't know. I think it's possible.
As we're standing here today, I see a play-in team,
We
and I
got
mean
2
that's a
minutes,
step.
fellas.
That's a step, right? That's a step from last year, and they were battling for playing contention before Wemby got hurt. As constructed right now, I see a play-in team, and I think that throughout the season, what's going to shake out is they're going to determine, okay, some of these guys, yeah, we need to bottle them up for something else to put us definitively over the hump, because it's cute and all, but this is Wemby's third season now. This is De'Aaron Fox's seventh, eighth season now, right? For
So
them two, you gotta put the foot on the
they're
gas.
not better than Sacramento.
I said play and see. All right.
Okay.
Utah, Sacramento, Phoenix, Portland. Those four definitively. Um, Outside of that, maybe Memphis, maybe Dallas. I think they're in that Memphis, Dallas, Golden State window right there. So that's firm in the play-in for me. That's where I
7,
see
8,
them
7,
today.
8, 9. Okay. That's fair. That's fair. All right, guys. Let's move on to the last topic. Like I said before, man, we had some head scratchers. What are these teams doing? What's going on? And this is our time to kind of get into it. And I'll just jump in and get into it first because we're not going to let this episode go by and we don't talk about what's going on here. So the biggest move, in my opinion, in my estimation of this whole offseason, is my boy, the letter O, coming back home to the Portland Trailblazers. Okay. That is the best move, the greatest move that has happened in this offseason. Okay. He came back home, saw the error of his ways. They made
All right, guys,
amends.
we're
Prodigal
good. We're
son.
good, guys. We can move
Listen,
on from
listen.
this segment.
Everybody loves a story where people reconcile and make up
Oh
and
man,
resolve and they figure it out. And we love that. We love to see the maturity, right? We love to see that.
Portland's long lost son.
Yes, the prodigal son has returned. He cares about his family. This man put his kids before millions of dollars in a chip. He cares about his family, okay? And as a father here,
Did
Evan,
he though?
you should be supporting that because he was tired of shuttling his kids back and forth to Milwaukee and he wants to lay roots in Portland, and we should be applauding that. That is the biggest move. That is the biggest one. But in all seriousness, though, I am happy to see that. I know we're going to have to wait a whole season to get Dame back, but I do think he is going to make an impact. This is for the first time in 2 years that I'm super duper excited about the moves that we're making as a GM, as a front office. I know Pod Mamba had his whole idea or criticisms, whatever, about the trade that initially happened. But I'm actually happy that it happened because if we didn't do that trade, we would not have gotten Denny Avia, who has been spectacular for us on the offensive end. We wouldn't have Tumani, who's been a lockdown defender for us as well, too. So we did get some solid pieces out of those trades. I like the direction we're going in. Chauncey is growing on me. I'm seeing his vision now. Before it was shaky. I'm not gonna lie. I ain't had no faith. All I saw was Chauncey on there. I saw he put his brother on the staff. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? I'm not seeing anything, but I'm actually seeing the vision. I see what he's going for. We got another Hans. We got China Hans. Hansen Hans. We're related. It is what it is. We got China Hans over there. I like what we're doing here, man. I like what my team is doing. I think we could battle for a play-in spot. I really think because last year, our last couple games, we finished top 5 in defense. So Chauncey is imprinting his style of play on the team. I know some people were questioning this Anthony Simons trade. He had his time, okay? That was great value, Dame. It didn't work out, okay? It didn't work out. Couldn't stay healthy enough. Wasn't consistent. It wasn't working out. But I am happy to see what the Portland Trailblazers are doing and where we're going. And I really don't care what you guys have to say about it. We can move on to another team. If you guys want to
Yo,
comment, you can. But
all I want to do
that's
is
cool.
just can we get some flex bombs for Hans right
Yeah,
now?
drop all those flex
Have it.
bombs, Christian.
We have his flex bombs for his current monologue on the Portland Trailblazers as he eloquently walked us through all the
Listen,
moves that were made for this upcoming season. Shout
I'm
out to
here
you
for
being
it.
excited.
I
He's
mean,
like, man, we're on a 2-year plan right now.
we
Our
are.
process is actually working,
It's-
as opposed to some other organizations
Thank you.
that start with a
Thank
city
you.
that starts with a P. But you
Thank
know what I
you.
mean? I'm happy for you, Hans. I'm happy for you, your team, and the moves you're making.
I hate all of y'all, but I am happy. I'm ecstatic. We'll go
How's
get
that
a
Josh Giddey
Hans.
extension going for you guys over there in Chicago?
Hey man, are you all right? You okay? Are you okay? All right. I mean,
All right, but let's talk about a
just
team.
worry about dominating. Okay, just worry about
Oh,
getting
yeah,
dominated.
that's what you need to worry about. Leaving his escorts stranded in other cities. That's what you need to be.
You think I'm mad that the Lakers got the best free agent center this year? You think I'm mad about that?
Oh, jeez. So he's better than Miles Turner now?
Oh, brother, this guy
Oh,
stinks.
he's better than Miles Turner now?
You know what?
Okay.
You know what? I
All right.
forgot Miles Turner was a free agent. I'll slowly backpedal that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, come on, Homer. Go back in that bush. Go back in that bush, Homer. Because that is wild.
I totally
talk
forgot.
from
I
you.
thought he was just
Madness.
straight up from the Pacers.
Mind you, this is what we started the show with. Mind you, this is how we started the show.
I forgot.
Look at
already. I forgot.
Yo, what you do? You sleeping over there, bro?
I was giving you guys details on these contract extensions and trade details. So sorry I'm not paying attention.
I told you we didn't need the extensions.
Yeah.
I told you I had them. But seriously, let's talk about a team. I'm being selfish on this one, but let's talk about a team that Christian really loves and is near and dear to his heart. The Clippers. Let's talk about them, man. They signed Bradley Beal
LA.
after Phoenix bought him out, right? So they also did the trade where they got John Collins, right? They got rid of what's his name? He was averaging 24 points for them.
Norman Powell, come on.
Norman
if
Powell.
you're gonna troll me with the Clippers info, you can at least have it ready on hand.
Sorry. Right. They traded away Norman Powell, man. I am okay. Evan and I have had conversations off the side about this. I have been just disappointed by the Clippers last year. I was like, I'm not following them. I'm not falling for this trap again. Something always happens with an injury or a player not playing, and that's how they let me down. But listen, similar to what happened with Lou with the Nuggets, the Clippers, they gave me hope this past playoff. Let's be real. They took Denver to the wire, okay? They took Denver to the wire. All their players played. You get what I'm saying? We got some performance. I think they needed a little more tweaking. I'm a believer, y'all. Am I falling for the okie doke again? Or is there some validity here?
This is where I will chime in. So
you and every other sports show. Every year, bro.
Without violating any HIPAA violations.
Go ahead, sir.
I'll put it this way.
Let me sign a consent form.
Okay, thank you. I called my good brother Hans just this past week, and over the last couple weeks, we've shared some age-related advice on some age-related physical ailments that we may or may not allegedly be experiencing, right? Things come with age that you can't undo, that you can't fully overcome. This sounds terrible for a preseason, but this is preseason segment, so we're good, right? I say that to say that when you sign an entire team of AARP eligible athletes,
wow,
there is no good that will come from that.
It's okay. ARP eligibility, I believe, is early 30s.
All right. There's no good that will come from that. Okay.
Slander.
This team will not make it through 82 games and 8 weeks of playoffs. It just won't happen.
But I
just want to know, have they built a rehab center? Have they built a rehab center?
It too. It too. But that's why they did it, though. Think about it. Follow me. I'm going to jinx it, but I'm going to say it. Follow me. What are the chances that all of them get injured at the same time? What are the chances that all of them get injured at the same time? The Clippers
this would be the team that it would happen to.
It would be. I know. That's why I was like, I'm going to freaking jinx it. But listen, the contingency is baked in. They're like, okay, you know what? Kawhi goes down, boom, not a problem. Harden to hold it down like he did, right? We'll get it going. Okay, if Harden or somebody goes down, boom, we got Bradley Beal. He's been wanting to shoot the lights out. They've been stifling him in Phoenix. He needs to be unleashed. He has a point to prove. Like they have those players who can kind of fill in, right? So just in case somebody gets injured, because somebody will get injured, and that's what I'm saying, y'all. They built in. They're gaming the system.
Y'all following this, man?
This is like,
who's the opposite level of delusion? Moses? Whoever the opposite of Moses was, that's who Hans is.
Nah.
Wow.
This level of delusion is elite. This level of delusion is elite. Is elite, man. Like this is top 5 delusion, bro.
You're the worst type of friends, man.
so Bradley has something to prove now. So him and Luka went 60.
Listen, well, I think he does have something to prove, Lou. He does have something to prove.
He just told y'all paid me. I'm good.
The problem with your hope is that we're talking about the Clippers, and so the Clippers have been the
Sick of
most
y'all.
Hey,
snake
yo,
bitten
why you say it like that, bro?
franchise.
He said I'm
Like,
talking
Now,
about the
hold on.
Clippers. I'm sick
So
of
it
you.
says
but
is
what I
the
mean
issue
is,
is fundamentally is the team you're
The
referencing.
Clippers.
like when it comes to injuries derailing careers and seasons, like the Clippers are the poster child of this. And so their strategy this offseason, which I understand why, right? Their contracts are all lined up to where all this entire experiment will be done in 2 years. So I get it from a contract standpoint. I get it from a sell tickets for the regular season standpoint. But be clear, you've built the most physically volatile team in the league, and you are the Clippers that are doing it. Like,
Listen, man, let
you
them
want
limp
to,
into the
fam.
playoffs, man.
They literally will.
When you talk,
Let them limp into the
yeah,
playoffs and
You
let them
a
know,
show
house
you
of
guys,
cards.
okay?
This is the Los Angeles Clippers are a house of cards built on sand.
I'm sick of y'all. I'm sick of y'all. I'm sick of each and every single one of y'all not
there's
believing in this.
a
That's
parable
fine.
not being followed here. Okay.
I will stand on this parable. I will stand on this parable, and I will write it 10 toes down, and we're gonna see what
Hmm.
happens.
This
Okay.
is built on
Like that,
sand,
like
throwing
that nice
seeds
little
and
surfer
throwing.
wave that's gonna crash on the on,
That's fine.
on the
That's
sand and
fine. They gave
wash
me
that
hope,
all
man.
out.
No, but like
They
for real,
took
Hans.
Denver to the limit.
Hans, let's be for real for a second, all right? Beal was not going to sign with the Clippers. No, I'm being for real. Beal was not going to sign the Clippers unless he knew for a fact he was going to start. So you have James Harden and Bradley Beal as your backcourt. Who's going to defend out of those two?
They'll figure it out.
All right.
That's why we got zone. What are we talking about here?
None of those players have played more than 60 games a year. Other
And
than
that's
Zoo.
Oh my
fine.
gosh.
That's fine.
It's
We're
going to
gonna
be Zubac
interchange
and
it.
Chris Dunn.
They're just gonna get out ahead
Listen,
and win a lot. So on the back end,
just
You see it, Lou.
you said
You see
it, Pie Mama. Get used to a lot of those Zubac, Chris Dunn, Derek Jones lineups. Okay.
Well, all right. Y'all mark my words, man. Y'all mark my
If
words.
the Clippers were
See what's
smart, they
gonna
would
happen.
start Derek Jones and Chris Dunn just for defensive purposes, but they won't.
But
It's going to
listen,
be James
just
Harden,
because he
Bradley Beal.
starts doesn't mean he's gonna get a brunt of that minutes. You could start him and then he'd be the first one out.
You think their closing lineup is going to have Chris Dunn on the floor over Bradley Beal?
See, I'm not talking about closing lineup. We're talking about starting. Okay, we're talking about starting. And it depends what you need on your closing lineup. If you need shots scored,
defense.
like let's not sit here and think that Bradley Beal is a slouch offensively. So like he's
No one's
to
saying that.
me, what I'm saying is I don't think he's that much of a liability on defense as you're saying it out there. Yes, he's not a great defender, but what I'm saying is in a team, just like we've seen with James Harden, okay? James Harden has gotten a lot of flack, right, for not playing defense. But those who watch him, which I've been paying attention to him the past couple of years, he's been average lately. And that's all you can ask for, and you'll take it. What I'm saying is if Bradley Beal can play average defense, we're fine. I'm not asking him to be Drew Holiday. You get what I'm saying? I'm not asking him to do that. Just play solid average defense, bro, and you'll be fine.
I don't think
You'll
that
be
knee. I
fine.
don't think that knee could take that.
You'll oh,
I'm
now
about
he
to
has a knee.
say.
Listen, he's not
Is it in
Joel.
his knee?
He's
What has
not
Bradley
he's
Beal?
not
What's
not
his injury
Joel.
that he's been dealing with?
He has multiple.
To
He's
be
had a
to be
groin.
determined.
He
To
has
be
no, he had a
determined.
hamstring in Phoenix. He had a hamstring. Did he have a knee in Phoenix
I
too?
thought he
I know he
did.
had a hamstring for sure.
I
He
think he
had
pulled his competence, if I'm not
Oh, okay,
mistaken.
yeah.
oh Lord.
Yeah, the
That's
competence
fine.
strain.
That's fine. Let's move on. Let's move on. Because I know he's not talking about backcourt defenders. Who the Lakers locking down? But
Oh
anyway,
man.
because Luka's
No,
locking down
man.
everybody.
Oh,
Got it.
so random question.
Olay.
While I have Pod Mamba here, deviate for a quick second. Talking about the Lakers and their backcourt. Why do y'all still have Austin Reeves? And the reason I ask is not as
Because
much.
we're
No,
paying
not
him
as much as
13
because he
million a
fit.
year and he's averaging 20 points.
But he can leave next season, and y'all can't re-sign him
Why can't we resign him?
because of that second. Because of that second round pick clause, the same reason the Knicks couldn't sign Hardenstein, you won't be able to offer him enough to keep him.
Nope.
Just look into that and then get back to me.
I'll trust you, but I'm pretty sure they can.
Don't think you can. I don't think you can
No,
offer more than
not without the
X
luxury, not
amount of his contract.
not without penalty.
We'll table that for another day. But just
Yeah, you're bringing information with me that I'm just not prepared for, so I don't appreciate
I
it.
got you. My
All right.
bad. So
I don't like
my
to be
bad.
bombarded with these
Yeah.
questions that I'm not prepared for. How dare
What you
you?
mean?
This intervention, he wasn't ready for this intervention.
Now you're being bombarded about Lakers questions. Okay. All right.
No, it's just that
Well, you
specific
here for
second
the
round
Clippers slander.
clause that the small
Yeah.
print. Like I don't
Yeah.
fucking know that shit. What the hell?
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's
Just like
fair.
the shot clock. Did y'all get a backup shot clock?
Yeah, our
They're big time
owner is
now.
more rich than yours. So now what?
They're not mom and pop.
And you don't have
How
don't
long
have
ago
a
signed
backup
Josh
shot
Giddey?
clock.
What's taking
How
him so long?
unfortunate
He's a
is that?
restricted free agent. What's taking him so long?
We don't. We're trying to make better decisions.
Okay.
But Lou, I do want to ask you about this. How you feel about this Donovan
Whoa.
re-up, man?
This whole
Billy
Donovan re-up.
Third longest
Billy
tenured
did-
coach
look.
in the league.
I know you weren't a big fan, bro. Like, what's happening, man?
Steve Kerr, Ty Lue, Billy Donovan.
I don't know what it is that Billy Donovan has on management, but we will find out.
Didn't Sesame Street used to have a song? They're getting rid of PBS, so we might not know these things anymore. But
Right.
what was it? One of these things do not belong, or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. I'm looking at Highlight magazine right now. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Find coaches with extensions. I'm like, Yeah, we're currently doing an investigation.
Okay, got it. An internal investigation as to what he has on. All right, Ev. Speaking of coaches, Mike Brown. He's a head coach at the Knicks. How you feel, man? Is he going to continue to take this team to new heights, or is there going to be a learning curve that may or may not be detrimental to your team starting off?
Glass half full. Took the Cleveland Cavaliers LeBron to his first NBA Finals. Took the Sacramento Kings to their most successful season since the Chris Webber, Mike Bibby era. And we needed an offensive overhaul, and that's his calling card. And lastly, this team's window is only 2 years. And Mike Brown's window as an effective coach is 1.5 years. So we are aligned perfectly to maximize
There we go. That last part I was
this
waiting
team
for. That
and this coach
okay.
in this season. We may have made a championship winning decision.
Wow, championship winning.
Wow, you guys think you guys can poach LeBron in the before the season starts?
No thank you. No thank you.
Oh, okay. Too close to Miami.
Respectfully.
Too close to his shenanigans.
With what money? They're just handing out max contracts to role players. So what money are they gonna get LeBron for?
He took a pay cut, man. But Mikal Bridges ain't not get a max contract.
4 years, $150 million for someone who was barely
took an
there.
$8 million discount.
It's all about fit, and the cap's going up. So
I can't wait for you guys to give Josh Hart $120 million.
Listen, man, heart and soul of the team. He deserves it.
You guys gonna get this Ben Simmons on your team, man?
That's what's left for one of y'all's teams.
Oh my God!
To be honest, I'm surprised he didn't go back to.
Don't do that. Leave my team alone.
He's a cheap defender.
Yeah, Clippers, yeah.
He's a cheap defender, man.
He
15 mil.
He is in more ways than one. I think Ben Simmons not only
the Lakers.
You see, more sense to go to the Lakers. Yeah, Austin
Reeves.
Reeves.
We don't have a spot for him, and we don't have money to sign anyone.
Austin Reeves from Ben Simmons. Who says no?
Oh,
Or Austin Reeves or Jared Vanderbilt? Who says no? You know,
mm.
my bad. I'm
Vanderbilt.
throwing
Good
out.
at this.
Didn't
Like I
they?
don't like. No one believes you. No
Didn't
one
they
believes
used
this
to,
trolling.
didn't they used to have a Vanderbilt? I thought they used to have a Vanderbilt.
Not they used to.
I'm actually shocked that
Oh,
Mike Brown went to the Knicks. I thought Jalen Brunson's dad was going to coach him.
I thought that was going to happen too. I definitely thought that was
No,
going to
I
be the
think that
move.
I
No
think
matter.
I think that would have I think the team would have been completely derailed if that happened.
So what's fascinating is that low key got rid of a lot of the coaching staff, and Rick Brunson did pretty much get demoted from the role. He's still on the staff, but not as high up. He might be second row Brunson this year.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Knicks are buying in, man. I like what I'm seeing from them. I really am. I like what I'm seeing. I agree with you because when we talked about Tibbs and his shortcoming on offense, one of the things that we highlighted was why are you just now figuring out late in the playoffs, unlocking the offensive potential of some of these players? I know that was a huge, in my opinion, a huge
You should be
criticism
going
of
to jail.
Tibbs. A huge
Jail.
criticism of Tibbs. So I'm interested to see what Mike Brown unlocks because I think naturally this team is just a good defensive team. They play hard, right? Even if you take Tibbs out there, outside of Cat, everybody else plays hard on the defensive end. Cat is just a defensive
You had
liability.
to get
Listen, and
you
I give
one.
him
You
credit.
had to get you.
He showed up, but
Mhm.
he's a defensive liability. He's a defensive liability in the worst way. But we won't get into that. We'll table that. But
Wow, he
I
said
am
in the
interested to see
worst
what the
way.
Knicks. I actually think the Knicks will be the number one team in the East. I think
I
the
like
Knicks
the
will
way
be
you're
the
thinking.
I think the
You
Knicks will be
know,
the number one
I
team in
will
the
say
East.
this. I think it's just other than the fact they probably just wouldn't work out and personality wise, just because of last season's playoffs. But it probably might have been a good move for y'all if y'all had tried to move for Turner instead of having this effervescent hope in Mitchell Robinson. Miles Turner might have actually been a better option to try to. I mean, that might have locked y'all in for real.
I think
But
the two teams who are going to fight for the first seed is going to be Cleveland and Orlando.
You said Orlando?
Yeah, I think Orlando
Why
takes the next step.
Orlando? All the way to one, Christian?
I think they could compete for number one. I mean, the East is awful.
They're going
what
from
in the
7-1?
Yeah,
what in the Wagner
yeah.
is going on here?
I mean, who's good in the East right now? Knicks, Cavs, Orlando. That's it.
I
Detroit?
would
You
take the
forgot about
Bucks to
Detroit,
be
who
able
was
to.
Detroit's
higher
better than
seeded.
Orlando?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
So seeding last year they were better than Orlando,
They got betters on their team.
and
They can't go up there.
they got better.
Oh
That's
my
why
gosh,
that's what
here we
makes them
go.
better. If you're not cheating, you're not
They're
trying
betting
hard
on
enough.
themselves. You're right.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
exactly
Okay.
it. That's exactly it. They're motivating themselves to play harder. So I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh my gosh. I cannot stand.
Wow. Wow.
I'm just saying. You think Orlando? I don't know, man. I see them.
Let me check your FanDuel. No, I'm playing.
Right. What do you know? What do you know we don't know, Christian? Who are you
Word.
talking
We'll
to?
talk about this offline.
Right. We don't want to get caught. I think Orlando will be a top 5. I don't know if I see them all the way as number 1. Because think about it. Boston's gone. Pacers are gone. So that just leaves the Knicks.
That's what I said. I think Bucks move up, Knicks for sure. Detroit, they already showed with look what Cade has done. Cade shows, hey, homecoming this year. I took that step into that star role that I knew I could be, and then like you mentioned, Cleveland.
Well, if
And
we're
Cleveland
talking off
underperformed.
season, we can't forget all the things the Hawks did as well. Definitely reshaping their lineup, and with Jalen Johnson coming
Trae
back.
Young got a haircut.
I don't keep up with his with his hair,
With his grown baby hairs.
yeah. Nikhil Alexander Walker, year 2 of Ricochet. Still got Dyson Daniels. They signed Luke Kennard. This is a competent roster. And so what I would say is I do think Cavaliers and Knicks are a clear 1-2, should be above all these other teams, but that Orlando, Detroit, Atlanta, Milwaukee window right there of both, upstarts and Milwaukee, I think will be fascinating. I definitely think that'll be a fascinating uh, setup there. One team that won't be in that top 5, top 6, top 7, maybe even top 8, but I am excited to see the Washington Wizards.
All right, let's end the show.
Listen,
Thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate it. If
Roll
you want to
credits.
support
let
the
me just
podcast, go ahead,
let me
man.
just
Go
lay it
ahead.
out. Let me just lay it out, man. 5 minutes. So this
Don't
is
take up
this
the whole 5 minutes. You got 2 minutes.
2 minutes. Okay,
You got 2 minutes.
I lay it out for you like this, and this is
Talk about the
You
Wizards for
already
those
used 30
5 minutes.
seconds.
this is for the pure hoop fans here, right?
Oh,
Like,
here he goes.
you know how when you play like college football, right? The video game. You have your favorite team that you run with all the time, the good team. But sometimes you start a dynasty with a team on the ground floor, and you try to build it up, right? And there's some excitement in that. This is where I see the Wizards at now. Now, I allegedly may live in the area now, and it may be that,
Yeah,
haven't
allegedly.
haven't haven't had, the benefit of being around an NBA team on a regular basis, right? Allegedly.
Nothing says youth
So,
movement like CJ McCollum and Chris Middleton on that team.
oh, listen, they'll be gone. They'll be gone before the clock strikes 2026. Don't worry about that, right? When you have a
Hey,
group
bro.
of talent that excited to see, will any of them turn into something, right? They didn't get Cooper Flag in the draft, but you have a Trey Johnson that comes in, looks like he can shoot the lights out. You've got a number what, 1 pick in Alex R, number 2 pick, who in his second year you want to see if he develops some. You've got a fascinating players like a Bilal Koulibaly, some other young players in there. They're like 8 deep in just young players that you want to see. Okay, is this an organization that can build this from the ground floor up and actually turn it into something? So for me, I'm just excited to be in a city where I can watch a team at the beginning of whatever they're going to turn into and get invested now. It's,
Yeah,
it's
man. There's
exciting as a
nothing.
sports fan.
There's nothing like watching the beginning of a car crash, right? So there's nothing like that. It's very mesmerizing. It holds you in. It pulls you in. You're there for the whole experience, and you have something to tell and put in the group
Hey,
chat and share
yo.
stories. So
I
there's nothing
was
like being
not.
there when you see the car crash. So like I can definitely agree and see
Oh
your
my
point of view. So yeah,
gosh.
You
that's
could go
awesome.
down that rabbit hole
My
for hours on
scale.
Instagram. So
I
don't
did
don't
not
don't
expect. I
sleep on
didn't
it.
expect
Okay.
that one.
You're
That
right.
was
You're right.
well
Listen,
played.
man,
Wow.
I give the Wizards plus 12 this next year. They're gonna have 30 games, which is more than the 18 that they had last year. So I give
Oh
them plus
man.
12. So that's
What I
my
heard,
view.
he's like he's more interested to see in the building and growth of Washington, but doesn't have the same faith in San Antonio. Madness.
Wild, wild, wild. But hey, man,
I don't
like I
believe
said,
that's quite how I drew it up, but hey,
some
like I
some people
said,
like
it's the
to
off season, man.
some
These
people
these these
like to
take.
watch forest fires. There's some weird people out there.
Some
Only
people
you
like
can
to watch
prevent them.
tornadoes. So I mean,
Whoa,
we
hey,
all have
Ooh.
hey, whoa.
we all have our weird
Wow.
kinks.
Whoa, we
You
got real
know what?
personal here.
Oh no,
We got real
nah,
personal
nah, nah,
here.
nah, nah, nah.
You
On
know.
that note of kinks, man, this is.
All right, y'all. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining us. We appreciate it. The show went off the rails towards the end. Don't know how we got real personal, people taking personal shots here. But thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. Uh We're still in our off-season mode, so we won't be recording at our regular pace, but you guys will see us back in a couple weeks. As always, hit us up on our YouTube channel so you can see our lovely faces. Check us out on our social medias. Like, subscribe, and share. Thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate it. Peace out. We'll see you guys next time.
What's up, guys, and thanks for listening. I want you to do 2 things for me right now. 1, give this episode a thumbs up, and 2, be sure to subscribe to our channel. You can also follow us on all the socials at the 3on3 Podcast and send us an email at the 3on3podcast@gmail.com. We appreciate you, and tune in next week.